All right, good evening, everybody. This is Calvin Butler with the RBBS Logistics Learning Centers and the National Dispatchers Network. Today is Thursday. The time now is 7:04 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so it is time for our How to Dispatch Training Series. How to Dispatch Training Series, and today we are on Training Series Part number 2, which is locating carriers. Last week we went over Part 1, which we dealt with compliance and all the different types of equipment and the things you're going to need, what makes dispatching legal, what are good characteristics of those people who are
it's only me and him today.
Dispatching. And so that's what we went over last week.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, make sure you mute your mic, Mr. Pratt. Okay. We probably gonna have more people joining on later on, but that's what it is. Today we are doing locating carriers, so we're going to be showing you all today how do you go and find your carriers. So that's really that really is the first step. Last week we were doing compliance, the type of equipment you need, what makes dispatching legal, what is a dispatcher, what makes great dispatchers. That's the stuff we went over last week. Today is really the first step in your actual operations. And that first step is locating carriers. That's the very first step, is locating carriers. So that's what we're doing today. We're doing carrier locating, how to find your carriers. So that's what we're doing today. We're going to have people who are going to be logging in. But it is being recorded, so you all will be able to go back and watch this live on YouTube. All right, let's go ahead and start sharing my screen. Well, first of all, let me share my screen and check in on my YouTube people. Let's check in on my YouTube people. This is what they got going on. See if anybody's on YouTube right now. So what do we have? Right now we have 3 people watching on YouTube. Mr. Robinson LeBron, thank you. I have to be, where's he at here? I have to be in YouTube today because I'm not at home. Hey, join us any kind of way you can. That's why we're here. All right. So Mr. LeBron is one of our students. He's not joining us live in the Zoom, but he's joining us on YouTube today. And we have 3 people watching, 4 people watching on YouTube now. That number is probably going to go up. But thank you all for checking in with us on YouTube. Let's go ahead and get back over to our broadcast. One moment. Start my share and let me get back over to my main broadcast. Okay, as I mentioned today, we are doing locating carriers. Okay, that's what we're doing today, locating carriers. Now, there are 2 types of carriers, or 2 classifications of owner-operators that I'm going to be showing y'all how to locate, okay? In any type of sales or cold calling type situation, you're going to have what's called soft closes and hard closes, okay? That's just part of sales. Every sales job that requires you to call and talk to people over the phone, or to approach people in person, or however it is that you approach people, if they come to your place of business or whatever it is, there's only 2 types of closes. There's a soft close, there's a hard close. So in other words, you're going to have prospects who are going to be soft close. Soft close are people who are, I don't want to say easy, they're already predisposed to the idea of someone either helping them or they're pre-exposed to the idea of buying that product. They're already kind of halfway there, okay? So those people won't be that hard to close. In this case, when you're calling up owner-operators, you have some owner-operators who have already expressed a need or expressed a willingness to have someone help them find freight, okay? Those are what we call soft close. Because obviously, those people, when you call them up, they're not going to be as hard as close as those people who you may call up and completely cold call. Now, the other one is hard closes. Okay, those are owner operators who have not expressed any type of need to have someone to contact them or have someone to help find them freight. Now, in those two scenarios, you're not going to have a whole bunch of soft closes. No, so your list of owner operators who have expressed a willingness to have someone help them find freight, that list is not going to be near as long or near as abundant as your hard closes. Okay, take for instance, you may have on one load board where you're going to look at some soft closes and you're looking at people who have already expressed, who've already listed themselves as being available and looking for help in finding freight. You may have 5 in one state, 10 in one state, 20, 30, or whatever case may be. But on hard closes, when you pull them up by the state, you'll see 30,000, 10,000, 20,000, 50,000. So that's a big discrepancy there. Okay, but I would advise you all to start off with the soft closes until you get used to your pitch. Once you get used to the pitch, you get very acquainted with the pitch, you become very knowledgeable in how to deliver the pitch, and you become very confident in your delivery. Then you go to the hard closes. Okay, so with that being said, let's start sharing our screen. Let's start sharing our screen. All right. I suspect today's class probably won't be longer than an hour. It's not going to be that long because we're going to go over where to find what tools and resources to use in the back office in finding the owner operator. As always, of course, we are sponsored by the RBBS Logistics Learning Centers and the National Dispatchers Network. This is our back office site where our students get to go and they get to use our back office tools and resources to access, to be able to find the things that they need and be able to find loads and book freight, to find carriers, to locate shippers and connect with shippers and all that type of stuff and all the documents, contracts, everything's right here in the back office site. So the very first, really the first actual step in dispatching is locating carriers. Okay? Before you can pitch a carrier, you gotta locate. Okay? Before you can send a dispatch agreement, you gotta locate. So we're gonna be showing you how to use our back office tools and resources to locate carriers tonight, and where you're gonna go to locate carriers. Now, when you get into your back office, if you're looking for carriers, you're gonna go down here. There's a couple places you're gonna look. Okay, one, let's start with the soft close places. You're gonna go and you're gonna look at the load boards that have a carrier locator or a carrier map. Okay, now Trucker's Path is not one. Trucker Path does have a carrier map, but it's only for brokers. The Trucker's Path does not allow you to have dual membership to their load board. You're either gonna have a membership as a carrier or you're gonna have a membership as a broker. Okay. We do not have a broker's bond, so we're not brokers, so we couldn't get one as a broker, but we can get one as a carrier. So that's why we used to use Trucker Path back when they had both, when we could have both accounts. You can't do that anymore. You can only have one or the other. So with Trucker Path, you're only going to be able to locate freight. You can't locate carriers on Trucker Path anymore. All right, but we can do so on direct freight. So we're going to go to direct freight, is where we're going to go to locate carriers. We're going to go ahead and go directly to direct freight. You go ahead and let somebody into the back office. We're going to go ahead and go directly to direct freight. And it's going to pull up the map here once we get to it. Now, as you see here, you have a carrier and owner operators, and you have a shippers and brokers. Direct freight allows us to have both types of access. So when you're on carriers for owner operators, if you look at the load map, you'll see right here where it shows you loads. Okay, it's going to show you loads. Now, if you go over here, you look at shippers and brokers, right? The map is going to, you can look up when you can see what it says truck map. You're going to click where it says truck map, and then you can look up trucks that have posted themselves available for loads. So in other words, these are soft closes. So all the trucks you see on here right now are soft closes. Now, as I mentioned before, You're not gonna have a whole bunch of soft closes like you will hard closes, okay? But you do know that by the soft closes that you are able to find, those people are pretty easy to close. They've already, the reason why they're here is because they placed themselves available for a load. They're looking for someone to help them find freight. So that should be a pretty good target, a pretty good easy close for you to call them up and say, hey, my name is such and such. I'm a dispatch firm, and I see here you are in Texas, or you're in Florida, or you're in Wisconsin. How much money do you need to move your truck? Let me ask you a question. How much money do you need to move your truck? They're already looking for someone to help them find loads. As you see here, if you look at the map, we've got 3 trucks that are placing themselves available in Arizona, 1 in Mexico, 13 in Texas, 3 in Louisiana, 5 in Mississippi, 3 in Alabama, 15 in Florida, 14 in Georgia, 3 in South Carolina, 6 in North Carolina, 7 in Tennessee, 1 in Kentucky, 6 in Missouri, 10 in Illinois, 3 in Indiana, 1 in West Virginia, 8 in Virginia, 11 in Pennsylvania, 15 in Ohio, 12 in Michigan, 11 in PA, 6 in New York, 2 in Maine, 2 in New Hampshire, 2 in Massachusetts, 9 in New Jersey, 5 in Maryland, 3 in Wisconsin, 7 in Minnesota, 3 in Nebraska, 1 in North Dakota, 1 in Wyoming, 1 in Colorado, 1 in New Mexico, 3 in Arizona, 3 in Nevada, 2 in Idaho, 2 in Oregon, 4 in Washington State, none right now in California. So there you have it. Okay, I know it's not a large list, but it's a great place to start. Okay, remember, if you get yourself 5 owner operators and you're dispatching them at least 4 loads per week, that should equate to somewhere close to $150,000 to $170,000 a year for your cut. So you don't need a whole bunch of owner operators to dispatch for to make great money. Now, if you're like me, I don't want to stop there. I want to scale my business. So the best place to start is with soft closing. This is why we use direct freight to find our soft closing. Let's check out here in Florida. Okay, you're gonna click on it. It's gonna pull them up. It's gonna tell you what these trucks are. You have a total of trucks of 15, but you know that's not true. Why? You actually have a little bit more than that. Because look, it says you have 9 in where? Orlando, and you have 8 in Tampa. Isn't that more than 15 right there? Right? That's more than 15, right? I've recently noticed the discrepancy in the total numbers and the city numbers of where they are in each city. All right. I mean, 9 and 8 right there, that's what? That's more than 15, right? Right? 9 and 8 is 17, if I'm not mistaken. Last time I checked, right? So you actually have a total of 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. You actually have a total of 25. So there's a slight discrepancy in the total number of trucks and the actual number of trucks that have placed themselves available. So even though you would look at the total number, but I like to go down here and go through them by the city that they're posting in. So I go ahead and click where it says my 9 in Orlando. All right. And it's going to pull up those 9 truck drops. All right. So, and now here's the thing. Some of them may be duplicate drivers. That's why it's probably showing that discrepancy. Because here you got cargo transporter, cargo transporter, cargo transporter. Okay. They're all in Tampa. And these are all driving. So they are definitely looking for someone to help them out to find them a load. Okay. Phone numbers are right over here to the side. So you all can contact them directly. Okay. You have one in Orlando, which is a power only. Okay. Then you have a reefer that's located in Fort Pierce. And then you have a flatbed that's located in Groveland. And you have another van that's located in Diamond Acres Park. And then you have step deck. Woo, hold up. Step deck, van, and double, So you might want to call them to find out exactly what they have, because they got a lot of stuff listed here. That might be a company that has several different vehicles, all different types of trailer types that they're looking for loads for. And then you have a cargo van right here that's looking for some freight. So I try to avoid cargo vans and stuff. To be honest with you, I don't sign with cargo vans or things of that nature. Chat here. Is the van for drive? Yeah, van is for driving. Van means driving. Okay. Vans means driving. Okay. If it was cargo van, you would say that right there, cargo. C-A-R-G. That's cargo. If it was a box truck, it would say box, B-O-X, or box truck. If it was a sprinter van, it would say sprinter. Okay. So you can call these people up, so go ahead and basically pitch them. Okay. You click on it. It's not going to show you the load information because there's nothing there for a load because they're looking for a load. So basically, you're going to look them up, and they're just right. It's going to tell you how long they've been looking for a load. This one's been on here for 3 hours and 14 minutes. That's the shortest one. This one's been on here for 7 hours and 4 minutes. These right here have been on there for little less than 10 hours. Okay. So call them up and find out what the deal is. Even if they are now under a load, it doesn't matter. Why? Because they have shown that they have interest in someone finding them freight. They've shown that they are willing to consider someone helping them to find freight. Okay? So don't be thrown off by if you call them and say, oh, I got a load already. Yes, sir, I understand you have a load, but let me ask you a question. How much money do you normally need to move your truck? Go ahead and pitch them anyway. Because like I said, they've already shown that they need someone, they're willing to have someone to help them find loads. So if they're willing to help someone find, they're willing to pay for someone to help them find loads. So that's how you go and you find what's called the soft closes. Now, on the soft close, now this is just in Orlando. Remember? That's just in Orlando. So we're gonna go back and look at some of the other ones in Florida. You got Tampa. We're gonna pull up the ones in Tampa too. And then you have the ones that are in Tampa. Orlando, these are some of the same ones, Roland, Diamond Acres, looks like some of the same ones. So truck map, I would go back and look at the total. And that's probably why you have a discrepancy because some of them are repeats. So it looks like you might actually have about 15 different trucks. Here we go. Here you got some in Jacksonville, you got a van in Jacksonville. So cargo transport, they have trucks all over the place. So they are definitely willing to work with dispatchers. So definitely give them a call because it looks like they have trucks all over the place. Mike, that's a cargo van. I really wouldn't mess with that one. It says cargo and van, so that's probably just a cargo van. But I will work with some of these other ones here that you see there. And of course, you're going to go to your other states and you're going to check to see what they've got in the other states. You're going to click on them and you're going to go through them and see what's going on. So here you have all these carriers here who are willing to work with, let's call it. Here's a reefer, dry van, reefer. That's a box truck. You see that BT? That's a box truck. I don't do box truck. Reefer, van, that's cargo. Dry van, reefer and dry van. This person can haul both reefer and dry van, and that's a power owner. I do sign power owners. Power owners are carriers who do not have a trailer, so they can only pick up freight that's already loaded up on a trailer. Those are called power owners. Okay, that's just a semi truck without a trailer. Okay, so these will be some pretty good leads for you all to locate carriers that are considered what we call soft closes. These are soft closes. All right. Other areas we can look for soft closes are. Show you also too another area you can look for soft closes are, and you can go through and check on the various different load boards and see if they have a truck search. If they have a truck search, then those are going to be ones that would allow you to do the soft to search for trucks that are showing that they are willing to seek help in finding loads. Let me go to my next load here real quick. And let's see what we got over here. Let's see if they've got a truck search. Some load boards don't have truck searches, some do. So you just have to check with the different load boards to see if they have a truck search. Looks like this one only has load searches. Let's see, more options, origin, destination, pickup. Yeah, this one just have what look like load searches. They don't have a truck search. So this one doesn't offer a truck search. This offers just loads. And they don't have a load map. Okay. Now, this is actually a pretty good load board in case you all have never used it before. I've used this load board on occasion. And I'm gonna tell you why I kind of like this load board. Okay. This load board gives you up-to-date information on the age of the load. Okay. It gives you up-to-date information on the age of the load. And you can actually look at more loads than this right here. It's just showing you this little bit of loads right here. You actually got 14,000 loads. Okay, you got 14,000 loads, but you got to put in like, you know, some type of origin, what type of, you know, freight you're looking for and stuff like that. And then you can get more, you know, more loads. Like you click here, it tells you why can't you see more loads. We want to use the next load to be effortless. We are aiming to provide you with quality. Try modifying the search to reduce the number of loads matched. So that's why you only see that many loads right there. So what you got to do is you got to go up here. You got to modify your search. Okay, like if you want to put in where you're looking at. If you're looking, let's say in Texas, looking in Texas. Okay, modify your search. Then you'll actually get more loads. Y'all see that? As you modify your search, you get more loads. That's just kind of just giving y'all a heads up on this load board right here. This is actually a pretty good load board. It's actually a pretty good load board. It gives you some decent freight, you know, mileage wise, freight wise. It's actually pretty good. Now it doesn't necessarily give you the rate per mile. I think you have to actually click. It gives you the rate, and you can click on the rate and go from, you know, where it shows you all the ones that have rate, and you can go distance wise too. You can go distance, and it'll show you the short range loads and as the mileage goes up. And with this load board, I like to search by distance, but I like looking at the short run loads first, because obviously this is a pretty good load. And see right here beside it, it shows you what the rate per mile is right there beside the rate. Do y'all see that? That says 300. So that's showing right there. Estimated rate per mile is $37.50 per mile. So it's only going 8 miles. Okay. This one is $20 per mile. It's only going 20 miles. It's a 20-mile run. And then these are driving rate, paying freight. Okay. Here's one that's paying $4.08 a mile. $5.44 a mile. So $3, more than $3 a mile. So $3.26, $3.72. So you got some decent paying freight in here. This load board is actually pretty good load board. Okay, so for those of you who've never used it, try it out. Okay, it's actually a pretty good load board. But you're not going to find trucks on here because they've got a broker shipper. They got post, manage. We're going to manage. Let's see what it pulls up. Yeah, see, it doesn't show you any area, no any way to look at trucks. It's only dealing with freight. It's only dealing with freight. All right. So, but that's actually a pretty good load, which is called next load. Okay. So it's actually a pretty good load. The other load, the other way to find soft closes, but just go to each of the load boards and see if they have a truck search. If they have a truck search, then you can find trucks on there. Is there a load board for hot shot? Yes, there are. There's not going to be a whole bunch, and there it is right there. There's a hot shot carrier load board. I don't do hot shots because it's difficult finding them loads. Okay, we do have a hot shot load board. There it is right there. Hot shot carriers. Okay. But today we're doing truck searches, so let's go in and check out some of the other areas That's going to show you where to find trucks there. Another area to find trucks is going to be in to find the available trucks. It's going to be in Trucking Planet. Okay, we're going to go to Trucking Planet. Let's go to Trucking Planet. We're going to go to Trucking Planet. Let me log in real quick. All right. This is another place to find trucks. All right. See right here where it says load board. All right. So you're going to go to load board. You're going to click. You're going to put your cursor on load board. And you can go down to where it says empty trucks. Y'all see that? View empty trucks, or you can post empty trucks. Now, as a dispatcher, if you have carriers that you're trying to find freight for, you can post trucks. You can't post loads. Okay. Let me make sure I understand something. As a dispatcher, you can post trucks that you have under contract. Because when you do that, brokers will come on and then they will let you know that they have loads for whatever truck you posted, or if it's in a certain area, whatever case may be. Okay. That's another way for you all to find loads for your trucks, in case y'all didn't know that. Okay. In case you didn't know that, you can post trucks. You cannot post loads. Only brokers can post loads. Does everybody understand that? Okay. Now, in finding trucks, you're going to view where it says view empty trucks. So you're going to click right there where it says view empty trucks, and it's going to pull up a list of empty trucks to go throughout the country. Okay. These are guys that have posted themselves available for a load. Now, it doesn't matter what date they posted themselves when they were available. Some of these are outdated. It doesn't matter, because all that matters is that one time or another, this person expressed an openness to have someone help them find freight. Because remember, you're going for the soft close. So that's what these are. Now, you got a bunch of box trucks. I don't do box trucks. Now, you all can do what you want to do. But I'm telling you, okay, I'm telling you, if you decide to do box trucks, you're going to spend a lot of time looking for freight that's not going to pay you very much. Okay? This is a numbers game on the dispatching side. This is a numbers game. You want to spend your time with the carriers that have an abundance of freight available for their trailer. This industry was not set up to really support box trucks, sprinter vans, cargo vans, and hot shots. Let's just face it, this industry is not set up to support those type of carriers widespread like they are for dry van, reefer, flatbed, and power only. Okay, this industry is set up for the big four. In other words, if it's not a semi-truck, I don't mess with it. Let me repeat that. If it's not a semi-truck, I do not mess with it. Now, you can do what you want to do. But if you decide to do that and you start calling me up to, hey, I'm trying to find a load, I can't seem to find no freight. I'm asking what type of truck, what type of freight. I got a couple of box truck people. Didn't I tell you I don't mess with box trucks? Didn't I advise you that if you decide to do box trucks, do it at your own risk? If you decide to dispatch for sprinter vans, you're doing it at your own risk. If you decide to dispatch for cargo vans, you're doing it at your own risk. Okay? I'll provide you with some information on how you can go about finding freight for them, but it is not going to be very, very, very profitable. For one thing, sprinter vans, box trucks, and cargo vans, the rate is usually way under $2 per mile. $1.25, 70 cents per mile, 80 cents per mile, $1.10. That's about what you're going to find. And you're going to spend pretty much all day looking for that freight. That's time you could have spent booking freight for several dry vans, several flatbeds, several reefers, and several power owners. Does everybody understand why I'm telling you why I don't do box trucks, sprinter vans, hot shots, or cargo vans. Okay? Because it's a waste of my time. Nothing against those people who decide to drive those trucks, but let's just face it, as a dispatcher, it is not worth it to you to spend your time trying to locate freight for those types of vehicles. I'm just being straight up with you. Spend your time where the money is made. Money is made on dry van, flatbed, reefer, and power only. Okay? Can you find loads for box trucks? Yes, it's just going to take more time. It's going to be very profitable? No, it's not going to be very profitable. It is what it is. All right? All right. But as you can see here, this is another place where you can go and find carriers, that are open to what? Someone helping them find freight. And this even tells you where they like to go. North Central, Ohio, even tells you what areas that they have ran freight, in the past, or where they run most of their freight at. Okay? So it gives you all the information, stuff, so you can call them up, got an email address, got a phone number, tells you where they like to run, things like that. So this is a good place to find soft closed carriers. Okay, and I just go through here, and I cherry pick. I don't do the box trucks. I do the reefers. I do power onlys. I do vans. I do flatbeds, flat and step decks. I do those. I skip over that. I go down here. I do reefers again. And just go through. This is what I do. Go through and I cherry pick the ones that I'm going to be choosing to call and pitch and try to get them signed up to an agreement. All right. So those are your two areas you go to find soft closes. All right. Those are the two areas you go to find soft closes. Those of you who joined us late, this is being recorded. You can go back and watch this immediately after we finish this. It'll be on YouTube immediately after we finish. Okay. So, but these are the areas. These are the areas where I go to find soft closes. Okay. Direct freight, under the truck search, under the truck map, and under the trucking planet, for the load board, go to empty trucks, view empty trucks. That's where you're going to find them at. Okay? All right. So those are where you go to find soft closes. Now, let me show y'all where we go to find an abundance, more carriers than you can ever call in your lifetime. These are going to be hard closes. Okay? These are going to be hard closes. Most of the, not saying that you're going to get some easy closes out of it, because you will. Some of these people you called up, they're ready to sign on with you and ready to see if you can help them find some freight. But most of them are going to be hard closes, which means you got to be pretty good at your pitch, pretty sure of yourself, feeling pretty confident, and it is a numbers game. It is a numbers game. The first place we're going to go to find that is going to be in Quick Transport Solutions. Okay. Quick Transport Solutions is really going to go to find the most of your, you can literally connect with every registered owner operator in the United States. Okay. You're going to go to Quick Transport Solutions. All right. You're going to go over here and you're going to hit where it says resources. Click resources. You're going to go over here where it says search trucking company. Okay. You're going to search trucking companies, or you can click where it says find loads or find trucks. But let's go to search trucking companies first. You're going to go to search trucking companies. Okay. You're going to put in what state you're looking in. Let's say Florida. And you're not going to worry about the city. You're not going to worry about the company name. But you are going to go over here and you're going to say, you're going to look for someone who has 1 to 5 trucks. Why 1 to 5 trucks? Because you're dealing with a company that has more than 5 trucks. Chances are they've got freight already, especially if they got more than 10 trucks. A company would not have 10 trucks if they didn't have freight already for that many trucks. The companies that are most going to need your help in finding freight is going to be the guy who has 1 truck or less than 5 trucks. So that's why you're going to search for 1 to 5 trucks. You'll do that, and then under operations, you're going to click what? Interstate. Because you want a carrier who can go outside of their area. You want a carrier who can go OTR, over the road, throughout the country. So that's what those are the things you're going to put in. You're not going to worry about the city. You're not going to worry about the company. You're going to click the state, the number of trucks, always click 1 to 5, and you're gonna go for the operations interstate. Then you're gonna do a search. Okay, and it's gonna pull up every registered owner operator that has that fits that criteria. Now, in the state of Florida, you got 30,743 results. That's a lot of trucks to call, y'all. Now, some of these may be out of business, but just keep calling. Because with 30,000 plus trucks to call, you'll never call, you would never call everybody in just this one state. You would never, if you call 50 a day, it would take you years to go through that whole 30,743. Okay. So as you can tell, you've got an abundance of prospects to call. There's no excuse for someone to tell me, well, I didn't call 50 trucks today because I couldn't find them. I ran out of trucks to call. That's BS. You're never going to run out of trucks to call. You're never going to run out of owner operators to call. So you can't tell me that you call this many owner operators, this is just in one state. So I know in your lifetime, you're never going to have enough you're never going to not have owner operators to call. All right. So the goal is to call 50 owner operators per day, pitch 50 a day. All you need to close is 1 out of that 50. You close 1 out of that 50, you're on track to make $150,000, $176,000 your first year. If you do that for the whole year, that means every 2 months, you should be adding a dispatcher because you got yourself, for every month, you got yourself 5. Every week, you should be bringing on 5 owner operators. You dispatch them for about a week or 2, or if you're trying to find them dedicated freight, it's probably going to take you about a month, maybe 2 months to get them on some dedicated freight. If you can do that, put them on some dedicated freight, then you hire yourself a dispatch agent, you turn those 5 over to that dispatch agent. They're already on dedicated freight. Actually, if they're on dedicated freight, you really don't need a dispatch agent, but some of you may want to do it anyway. But anyway, you turn your 5 over to a dispatch agent, you pay the dispatch agent 60% of the load fee, you keep 4%. That's why they charge 10%. That dispatch agent is going to be making somewhere in the neighborhood of $60,000, $70,000, $80,000 a year, and you're going to be pulling in on average about $40,000 a year, $50,000 a year from that. And you're not doing anything anymore because the dispatch agent is the one who is managing those trucks. Then you go back out and do what? Make those 50 phone calls a day. You still 5 more, right? Do the same process all over again. So if you're doing that, if you're scaling your business with that process, that means every other month you should be hiring a new dispatch agent, giving them 5 carriers to dispatch for, and you increasing your revenue, your company revenue, your take by another $40,000, $50,000 a year every 3rd month. That's how it works out. The process really is that simple in scaling your business. And it starts with you all making these phone calls and getting these owner operators under contract. As you can see here, you can click on one of these and it's going to pull up. It's going to tell you, the total number of trucks to have. This guy has 1 truck, 1 tractor, 1 trailer, 1 driver. That's the ideal person to call right there. 1 driver gives you the MC number, the DOT number, gives you the carrier, the operation, interstate, gives you the phone number, the address, got the fax number and a phone number. Some of these even have the insurance information and tell you some stuff about what type of violations that they have. If they had any violations, no violations here. So you go down here and you kind of look at the information and tells you where they're located, that type of stuff. So yeah, this is a pretty good lead source for finding owner operators to call. Okay. So there you have it. Those are 2 ways that actually 3 ways. You have 3 sources and you have 2 ways of finding owner operators: soft closes and hard closes. Okay. Soft closes are going to be much easier prospects for you to close. You're not going to have as many of them, but they're going to be easier to close. Hard closes, you're never going to run out of hard closes to call. Never, ever, ever, ever. You're never going to run out of hard closes to call. You're always going to have an abundance of owner-operators to call on hard closes. As you all are seeing here, just in the state of Florida alone, you got more than 30,000 of these people to call. 30,743 just in the state of Florida by itself. You can go through here, you can go through some of the other states. For Georgia, 1 to 5, interstate, click search. It's going to give you, the numbers are going to be a lot, just like it is with Florida. You're going to have an abundance of what's called it. In Georgia, you got more than 28,468 results that meets this criteria up here on 1 to 5 trucks, state of Georgia, interstate. So as you see here, I can just go through here and just pick a state. Alabama, click that. It's going to give you a search on that. It's going to tell you how many. You in a minute for it to pull up. In the state of Alabama, you got 7,082 results. Not as much as Florida and Georgia, but that's still a lot of carriers to call. Okay. Go to California. Do the same thing there. But you got plenty of carriers, plenty of owner operators to call. Plenty. You got 56,691 in the state of California. So there's no excuse when you all tell me, well, I couldn't find no carriers to call. That's not true. You got plenty of carriers to call. Plenty of carriers to call. We can go on down here to Pennsylvania, see what they got in Pennsylvania. You got plenty of carriers to call. All right. Any questions on where to go to find carriers? For those of you who came in late, this wasn't going to be a very long class tonight because it's on located carriers, but it is being recorded, so you'll be able to go back and immediately replay this on YouTube. It'll be immediately ready as soon as we finish. Also, by the way, in the state of Pennsylvania, you got 19,000+ carriers called that have one truck, 1 to 5 trucks. Okay, they have 1 to 5 trucks, and 1 truck, 1 driver. Click on this and give you information. There's information. 1 truck. They have 2 tractors. All right. They have 5 trailers, so that's pretty decent. Okay, but they only have 1 driver, so that's a good one to call. They may have different types of trailers, so that would be a good prospect to call, especially if they've got like a reefer trailer, a dry van trailer, and a flatbed trailer. They got 5 trailers, so that means that they should. I wouldn't think that they're all the same. It may be different types of trailers. That's what I would do if I had multiple trailers. I would get different types of trailers, which would allow me the opportunity to pull more freight. Okay, so that's how you find the owner operators, soft closes, hard closes. Questions. Any questions on locating owner operators? All right. I know it's pretty self-explanatory. Okay. This is one of those nights where the class is not very long. We kind of get right to the point. Locating owner operators. So now that you all know where to locate owner operators, next week we're going to be going over the pitch. Let me check my YouTube people real quick to see if they got any questions. Let me check my YouTube people real quick, see if any questions. Show my chat. I like to hide my chat now because of this crazy mess right here. See this person right here? I don't know why these people come on here and do this stuff. They just have no use whatsoever. Why people do this stuff, I do not know. But you're always gonna have ignorant people that exist in the world. But it is what it is. It is what it is. They gotta know that I'm not gonna leave this stuff up here. I'm gonna report it. I'm gonna have it removed. So I don't know why they keep doing it. That's just ignorance. Ignorance. I mean, it really is. I'll get to y'all questions in just a second. Let me get to this ignoramus right here. And remove this person whose daddy and mama is probably their brother and sister, or their aunt and uncle. All right. I do apologize for that. All right. Adam says, how do you get dedicated lanes for box truck? I don't do box truck. I just told y'all that. I don't do box truck. Okay. Or for semi. If you want to know how to get dedicated lanes, go back and watch my videos on dedicated lanes. Tonight's training is on locating carriers. Now, when we get to training on locating freight, that would be a more appropriate time to ask that question. But if you want to find dedicated lanes, all you got to do is, well, you can go watch my morning stuff on the logo report. Let me show you here. Mr. Adam, let me show you here. You go to YouTube. Let me show you. I've done a load board report. I've done 2 load board reports this week. I try to do them every day, every morning, but it doesn't work out that way. You know, sometimes I just oversleep. I'll be honest with you. But as you can see here, I've done 2 load board reports this week, and I'm going to do one tomorrow morning. On load board reports, that's when I'm on here live every morning between 6 a.m. and 7 a.m. And people call me up looking for freight, truckers, dispatchers, and I locate freight for them and give it away free. Also, while I'm locating the freight, I show them how to find dedicated lanes. Now, if you want to look at my playlist on dedicated lanes, I have a playlist for dedicated lanes. Let me go here. How to identify and create your own dedicated lane. There it is right there. I'm going to share this link with you. So you'll know where and how to find dedicated lanes. All right, here's the link. You can go and watch those dedicated lane videos. Okay, so there you have it. I think I just shared that. Why did it not pop up? Did I just share that? Why did it not pop up? Let me try that again. My chat is not popping up. Okay, I don't know why my chat is not popping up. Okay. Well, just go to my playlist and look for how to locate dedicated lanes. That's all you got to do. Okay. That's all you got to do. Go look up how to locate dedicated lanes. So I don't know why my chat is not popping up. All right. No, Adam also asks, do you think that you would be more profitable, local or OTR? And which one do you think makes you the most and why? That's not an easy question to answer, because when you say local or OTR, most people consider local as contract work, like you just run the same thing. But you can also find dedicated lanes, which would be local too. Most dedicated lanes are local, even though you're still OTR, but you're running short runs and dedicated lanes. Dedicated lanes and short run loads usually pay more money. Okay, short run loads usually pay more money per mile. Let me show you what I'm talking about here. I'll show you this real quick, but this is not what we're training on tonight. Freight, let me show you what I'm talking about. Let's go to load map. Let's go to Alabama today. Let's look at loads in Alabama. And I'm gonna show you what I'm talking about. All right. If you look at pay rate, okay, pay rate is gonna give you, what's showing as the amount of money. But that's necessarily not the best paying load. That's not the best paying freight. Why? Because you got to do 1,652 miles to make that $600 to $800. Fuel right now is still about $4.25. You know, 5.56 miles to the gallon. That's going to be about close to $2,000 some odd dollars on fuel just to run that load. Okay, that's what it's going to be. So that's going to drop it down to about 4,000 something. You see what I'm saying? So that's not really a good thing to look at. So what you want to look at, you want to look at estimated rate per mile. Because when you look at estimated rate per mile, that's going to give you a true representation of the highest paying freight as far as the highest rate per mile. And usually those are shorter run loads. See here, 91 miles, 99 miles, 133 miles, 141 miles, 53 miles, you know, those are usually shorter run loads. And the reason why you can make more money doing this, because you're not going to spend nearly as much money on fuel, and you can run more of these loads in a day. So if you look at this one right here, this is a dedicated run. You know, Castleberry to Montgomery picks up today, picks up tomorrow, then the power breaks and picks back up on next week, running the same thing. Okay, that's a dedicated run. There's another dedicated run. There's another dedicated run. Another dedicated run. More dedicated runs right here. Another dedicated run right there. Thomasville to Charlotte. More dedicated run right there. Thomasville to Jacksonville. A whole bunch of dedicated runs right there. Going to Jacksonville, Texas, not Jacksonville, Florida. You already know better. There is a Jacksonville, Texas. Okay. Another dedicated run. More dedicated run. More dedicated run. More dedicated run. More dedicated runs, dedicated. So you're gonna make more money running short run dedicated runs. Because you can run more of them in the course of a day. Because remember, the average driver drives about 450 to 500 miles, but you can drive up to 600, 650 miles, you know, the driver ship. You know that. Okay. You got 11 hours that you can drive in your driving ship. So if you run it 91 miles, that's on what? That's about 2 hours driving time. You got an hour of load time and another hour of unload time. You know, maybe a little bit more, but you can run, you know, maybe 3 of those per day. So that's going to give you 6, 12, $1,800. And if you find 2 more loads like this that run dedicated, that's going to run you back close to Castleberry at the end of the day, that means you just created yourself a triangular dedicated run. You run it up, down, and then back, right? And you can average $600, $700 per run on those short run loads like that. You running 3 of them, that's $1,800 a day, 5 days a week, off every weekend, and you're not spending a whole bunch of fuel. Versus running the load all the way across country, like you have here, 1,600 miles. It's going to take you at least 3 days to run that, maybe 4. That's an all week run just to make what? Not even $1,600, because it's going to take you about $2,000 on fuel. So you're only going to make about $4,000 versus you could have ran 3 short run loads per day. Let's look at my calculator here. You could have ran 3 short run loads per day, averaging $600, $700 per run, averaging $600, $700 per run, right? So you run the short run loads, let's say $650 per run times 3 loads per day, you're making $1,950 a day, right? Times 5 days a week, looking at $9,750. And you're not spending as much in fuel. Because if let's say those 3 runs, let's say they're 90 miles each. So they're 90 miles times 3, let's say average that, or whatever it's going to be. 90 miles times 3 is 270 miles. All right, 270 miles, you got 270 miles divided by 5.56 miles per gallon, because that's all a truck is going to get, 5.56 miles per gallon. So you're going to need 48 gallons to run that load, run those 3 loads that day. You're going to need, let's say 49 gallons. You're going to need 49 gallons times fuel right now is about $4.25. You're going to spend $208 per day. If you're doing that 5 days a week, you're only spending $1,041. That's a hell of a lot less than $2,000, and you're making more money. Y'all see how that breaks down? You got to know how to calculate this stuff. You got to know how to evaluate freight, properly in order to make your truck profitable. Okay, so yeah, short dedicated run loads are gonna pay you more money than long haul loads. Not only are you saving money on fuel, because the money you save goes right back into your pocket. Okay, you're gonna make more money on short run loads overall on the surface. Then you're gonna make you more money because you're gonna save more money on your fuel. Then you're gonna make you more money because you're gonna save your truck on maintenance and repairs, because there's less wear and tear on your truck. Tires, engine, drivetrain, all that stuff. And you're also gonna make more money because you're gonna spend less money on food, because you're out and about. You got to go out all these different places across the country. You're getting food, you're getting, you're showering, all this other stuff, this and that. When you can run short, run dedicated run, be back in the same place every night, take your lunch with you, you ain't got to stop and eat, all the different places. You can run more loads, so you can run them quicker. You can run more loads without stopping as much, so you're not worried about stopping to eat. All the different places. Why? Because you pack your lunch and you brought it with you. Because you're gonna be back in the same spot at the end of the day. Short, dedicated runs, piece them together, you'll make more money. Trust me on that. Your carrier will be a lot happier too, because they have a much better quality of life. All right. Hopefully I was able to answer your question there. How to check MC number and what are we looking for in MC number? All right. Sounds like the okay, LeBron, how to check MC numbers. You can check MC numbers by going to saferweb.com. Okay. Just go to, or you can or better yet, just put an MC number in Google. You can just put it, you can go to Google and put in an MC number and then pull up all the information about that MC number. In case y'all didn't know that. Very simple. Very simple. Or if you have a CNTMS, you can put it in a CNTMS, but that's something you got to pay for. So why not just go to Google, which is free, put in the MC number, and pull up everything you know about the MC number. See, and by the way, that's both good and bad. That's the problem I have with the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration, is that MC number and DOT numbers are public information. And a person can pull up everything they need to pull up on you in order to steal your MC number or to steal your identity as an owner operator or as a broker. They can steal your identity and run loads under your MC number, especially as a broker. They can run loads under your MC number as a broker, and you have no idea that they're doing it. That happened to me when I was a broker. Someone got a hold of our MC number and they ran close to a little over $1 million worth of freight before we found out about it. We had her prosecuted. I think she's probably out on parole right now because she got 5 years in federal prison. She was convicted and got 5 years. Young lady out of Chicago. Okay? Very serious crime, by the way, but it is easy to get a hold of somebody's MC number, DOT number, especially broker on the broker side. They can run freight on they can create a website and all of that stuff. You never know about it until something happened. And all when we found out about it is she was running a bunch of auto haul freight, and she got into a dispute with somebody and didn't pay them. And then it hit us from the Federal Bond Service, contacted us because it was our MC number. And then when we were doing our thing, looked and said, at that time we wasn't doing auto haul freight. We don't even do auto hauls. We knew it wasn't us. And then after opening an investigation and all that, and filing a claim, all that stuff, come to find out it was this young lady out of Chicago had stolen our MC number. She had ran a little over $1 million worth of freight. before we even caught up with her. So she had to pay a whole bunch of restitution, and she got 5 years in prison. All right. So, but that's the problem I have with DOT and the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Association. I think MC numbers and DOT numbers should be treated like Social Security numbers. They should be protected. They shouldn't be for public use like that. Only people with certain type of credentials should be able to pull up your MC number or DOT number. It should not be where you just go and grab an MC number, put it in Google, and pull up everything you need to know about a company. Okay, that's the problem I have with that. All right, all right. If no one has any questions pertaining to what we were talking about tonight, that's gonna do it. Okay, look, I appreciate y'all for joining me. As always, I hope y'all learned something. As always, next week, we're going to be going over the pitch. We're going to do the pitch next week. We're going to have role playing. We may even make some live calls to some carriers and pitch them live. Woo, that's exciting. All right. Elisa says, thank you, everyone. Lisa, I hope you learned something tonight. I hope you got something out of our training tonight. As always, we try to provide adequate and sufficient training and for people to come on and and learn something new and that type of thing. And I thank you all for joining me. I appreciate you all so much. Thank you, Ms. Gamble. We try to make this helpful as always. Look, our platform is changing. We will soon have 4 to 5 new owners of the RBBS Logistics Learning Centers. We've got about 3 people that got their own RBBS Logistics Learning Centers already. We got about 3 or 4 more that have committed to getting their RBBS Logistics Learning Centers. So pretty soon, and all the ones that got there so far, they are saying that they're going to start their own training platform under the same name. They're going to have their YouTube channel under the same name, the RBBS Logistics Learning Centers. So now, what you all are going to have, you all are going to have access to more trainers other than myself. You're going to have access to more live training platforms other than myself. You're going to have access to more YouTube content other than mine. So the RBBS Logistics Learning Center is growing. You're going to have more mentors, more trainers, more live training sessions. Each one of us is going to be doing something different. Darren may concentrate more on auto hauling. Someone else may concentrate more on things that concern women in trucking or something like that. So there's going to be a lot of different, personalities that are going to be coming into play with the RBBS Logistics Learning Centers. We're going to become the go-to training platform in the industry. Why? Because we're going to have more trainers, more mentors, more YouTube channels, more content, more live training platforms. So look for what is coming. Now, those of you who are already in, you're in a great position because you get to access all this for the same low price that you've always get access to. You still pay your $39.95 per month or your $29.95 per month if you are a veteran. And you still be able to access not just my platform, but the other RBBS Logistics Learning Center platforms as well. But for those new people who haven't joined our platform yet, price is going to go up. Okay? Because we're going to have a different price point because we expect to get approved for the VA Chapter 31 here pretty soon once we bring on all these new trainers and new owners of the RBBS Logistics Learning Center. We're working on getting that VA approval, and once we get that, price is going to change. Price is going to change. I'm being honest with you all because the VA pays for everything when it happens, and we'll also get other government approvals other than the VA. We have Workforce Plus, Job Source One, Career Source One, people who are on housing, people who are on food stamps, people who are unemployed. Federal Corrections has a program where they send their nonviolent, recently released inmates to vocational school. They'll pay for that stuff too. So there's going to be a lot of different sources that people go through to pay for our online training and our vocational school. Our online training, I'll be honest with you, once we go to this new and more people, more training platforms, more YouTube channels, it could be as high as $2,400 on your enrollment fee. Hey, it is what it is. All right. So if you haven't joined the RBBS Logistics Learning Centers, you might want to think about joining before we go to our new rollout. Yes, you're going to have more trainers, more this, more that. You're going to have more of everything, but it's also going to be more expensive. But you also will have more government programs that will be willing to pay for that stuff for you. Okay, we're definitely going to go up. Whether it's going to go up that high or not, it is going to go up. It is going to go up because we're looking at becoming the premier platform in the industry. Now, the monthly subscription fees will probably stay close to what they are now, $39, $49 per month. Okay, for those of you who are already in, you don't got to worry. Just keep paying what you're paying. You're good. You're grandfathered in. Okay, but after these other platforms go online, they still got to get their the articles of incorporation and the business listed within their state and get their business bank account. We got to set up their Square store and their Square accounts. But once that is done, we have at least 5 of them on board. The prices are going to change for incoming enrollments. Okay, it's business. You're going to get a lot more out of it. They're offering a lot more, so the price is going to have to reflect. The enrollment is going to reflect that. So now, again, those of you who are already in, you are good. You're safe. You're good. You're grandfathered in. Those of you who join before we bring on the new RBBS Logistics Learning Centers and the owners, now's the time to join. So if you've been on the fence, thinking about joining, I'm thinking about it, I might, well, you either get off the fence or do whatever you got to do. But price is going to change. All right. That's going to do it. I thank y'all for joining me. I appreciate each and every last one of y'all as always. I look forward to seeing you all on next week. I look forward to seeing y'all on Saturday for the Brokers Hour. We have our broker training. Thank you. You all have a great day. Bye, everybody.